Hello again. In this video we are going to look into preparation of nitric acid. Now one might think that you can just go and purchase your nitric acid. However, in Canada, nitric acid is somewhat of a controlled substance. To be precise, nitric acid over 67% is an absolutely controlled substance and you're not even allowed to own it. Below 67% you are allowed to have it, but you cannot find a place to purchase it from. So there is no other way but to make some at home. I've been looking into a couple of different methods of making nitric acid at home, and the easiest way to go about this is to get some calcium nitrate, mix it with sulfuric acid, and get nitric acid and calcium sulfate, which is going to be not very water soluble, and it's going to precipitate. So here are a bunch of numbers, basically molar weights of all of these compounds that I didn't know. I found them on the internet. And so ideally you have calcium nitrate and sulfuric acid 100%. However, in real life you don't have any of those. So your calcium nitrate is going to be hydrated, and therefore for this much of it, around 236 grams of it, you're going to need 98 grams of 100% pure sulfuric acid, and in that case you will be getting around 126 grams of nitric acid and some water. The problem is, even the sulfuric acid that I've got is not pure. It's basically the drain opener sulfuric acid, and I calculated the percentage to be around 95%. So I'm gonna need, for 400 grams of calcium nitrate, hydrated calcium nitrate, I'm gonna need about 175 grams of my sulfuric acid, and I'll be getting hopefully around 270 grams of nitric acid at 77% purity, because there's going to be of course a bit of water, and then I can dilute it a little further. Okay, so in order to start, I'm going to weigh about 400 grams of calcium nitrate. What I forgot to tell you is that even getting calcium nitrate is a little bit hard in Canada, although it's often sold as nitrate fertilizer. So it's the 15.500 fertilizer, if you're wondering. The way I purchased it is that I found some vendor in Quebec and I purchased it from him. I purchased about 2 pounds of this. Okay, that was a little bit too much. Okay, seems to be about, yeah, that's exactly 400 grams. Now the next thing we need is around 175 grams of sulfuric acid, which I'll be preparing now. For the sulfuric acid, I'm using the Rotime drain cleaner that has 95% sulfuric acid. The sulfuric acid's color has to be clear, and there are various reasons why it's not clear, but for our purpose I think it's fine, so we are not particularly bothered by the clarity of our sulfuric acid. Okay, now I'm gonna heat up my calcium nitrate and add about 200 milliliters of water. The amount of water doesn't really matter as much. It's just to dissolve all of it. Now all of the calcium nitrate is dissolved in water, and it's time to add the sulfuric acid. It's going to be an exothermic reaction, so we'll have to do it slowly. What you see there is calcium sulfate that is precipitating. So I'm going to add the rest of it gradually. And we don't want to get this fume in our body. So put the wash glass on. The gas you see is the nitric oxide gas. And then I cover this with a plastic so that it settles. Nasty brown gas has settled, and it's about time to filter the nitric acid that we have produced. It smells very much like nitric acid. And add a little bit of more water there. And I'm using a vacuum filter and a little manual pump to take care of that. So here is the nitric acid that I've made.